Doing?
You recording?
Yeah.
Well, you can show them what I'm doing. What am I doing?
Washing your A.
Yeah. Big story behind this little car. You ready for the story?
Yeah.
Back when I was 20 years old, I wanted a Model A car. I had a Model T that I had bought and redone, half-assed, because I was only 19 years old. And I still have it, by the way. But this car came up on the Treasure Hunt, which was a magazine, a local sales magazine. And I saw it, and I thought, you know, I'd like to have that car. They wanted a lot of money for it, and I wanted it worse than not, so I actually gave them what they were asking for it. Now we're talking 20-some years ago. Right, Tim?
Yeah.
Before you were born, 22, 23 years. So I'm going to give you a little bit more of a quick history of this car. There it is in all its dirty glory. It's a little cleaner than what it was before we started. Now I can see where I need to actually brush on it a little bit. 10 years ago I went through a divorce, okay? So for the last 10 years I've just had no time to mess with my little 1931, late 31 Model A Coupe Deluxe. As of lately, I still don't have time because I'm a lot more busy. But this car is always set in the building down below, and I don't believe I've ever showed it. And after yesterday finding that Model T in the barn, I thought, wow, this is really cool. I might as well pull it out of there and do the assessment for a complete restore. Now, this car was used in the Lindbergh trial. Yes, the Charles Lindbergh trial, for those of you who didn't know, back in the 1930s, I believe 36, Charles Lindbergh had a baby that was kidnapped from its bedroom window. The ladder broke, the baby fell and was killed. Anyways, the baby was dead and found less than a mile from the house. And this car was used in the Lindbergh trial. So it was a lawyer's car from what I understand. Anyway, yeah, so I bought this out of Flemington, New Jersey about 22 years ago. As a matter of fact, it's probably been exactly 22 years ago. I was 20 years old and I'm 42 now. And I rebuilt the Model T when I was 19, and this car here was the next one that I bought. Now, the unfortunate thing about it is, actually it's not unfortunate. The fortunate thing about it is I did not attempt a restore on this car back then because, you know, when you're 22 years old, you don't really, let's see, you don't really have the knowledge, well, at least I didn't have the knowledge or the money to do a decent restore job on the car. So, now that I'm 42 years old and I can see all the bullshit that they had done, including putting Bondo, which I think I can probably, I knew this Bondo was here because it's actually Bondo, it is Bondo. I thought it possibly was a fiberglass coating, but it's Bondo and feathering putty. You can see by the red. That red is feathering putty, and that nasty old gray is cheap old plastic Bondo. Now, instead of knocking the dents out of there like they should have, they just Bondoed it. And to some degree, I probably will do the same thing when I do the restore. But I have to completely tear this car apart and sand it. And, yeah, oh, I might as well show you the motor. It does not have a V8 in it. It has not been bastardized in any way. It actually has an Autolite heater, which runs into the car. And you turn it on and off from inside using a little plate, which I can show you right now. It's still got some stuff in here, but right here, right there is the plate, and you can open and close that. There's a little screw that's supposed to hold it tight. There's a spring, actually. Anyway, yeah, I gotta get some cleaning done on this thing, and 60,000 miles on this car. There's actually a few more because that speedometer the odometer quit reading. I'm going to tear it apart and see what I can find inside there. But that's also the fuel tank. I believe it's a 10 or a 15 gallon fuel tank. I can't hardly remember. But yeah, for the most part, the car is in excellent condition as far as, I mean, look, that door closes nicely. It does clicks. So the body's in great shape. There's wood underlayment in these things. Now I know that this piece here on top of the gas tank has this welt, and I actually have this. I bought it years ago. I bought this years ago. I bought all that stuff, all the welting around the fender welt and all that. I've got all that stuff. So I'm not saying I'm going to start this project anytime soon, but I'm hoping for possibly this fall after the harvest is done, maybe before that. But I do have some other things that are really important to me that have to get done before I go ahead and do this. Like actually pulling it in the building right now and getting it started. Because you know what? What good is pulling an old car out of the building after 12 years of sitting there if you don't start it for your fans? So that's what's going to happen. I'm actually going to take the Jeep, drag it up in that building. I'm going to clean everything off, get some gas, put her on the bottle there. Probably the gas will be fine if I dump it in the tank. That carb might be stuck, and we'll see if she fires off. And maybe we'll drive it out of there, you know, because it's always fun to drive a Model A. So it's a late 31 Model A, as you can see. And the reason I say it's a late 31 is because it has a recessed fuel on the tank, which qualifies it for 32 colors. Yeah, what else does it have? I forget what else it has. That's my daughter calling. All right. Anyways, back to the car. When this car was, when I bought this car, I was 20 years old. I'm 42, so I've had it for 22 years. Anyway, yeah, here's some other Bondo issues. I don't believe this car actually had this tire as an original piece when it was new. As a matter of fact, I absolutely doubt that it was. That's Bondo again. I don't know though. It just looks to me like a hack job what they did. Like this was aftermarket, or maybe they bought it and stuck it on there because it looked cool. Well, it does look cool, but I don't know. I mean, it could be that it is original, and it doesn't really matter to me because I'm going to fix it. I'm gonna fix it. So yeah. What else was I gonna say about the car? Oh, yeah, well, when my wife left me, she wanted me to sell the car, and I said that I wasn't going to sell the car, so I actually had to buy the car again. Yes, I had to buy the car again. I have a fond love for Fords. I think that Henry Ford was a great man. He was actually 40 years old when he founded the Ford Motor Company. You know, so he was a little younger than me when he did the Ford Motor Company. I've always found Henry Ford to be quite an inspirational guy. He was a farmer and, you know, a machinist also. And he just loved cars. And I love Fords. I always have. I always drive Fords. This car here will be restored back to its original glory. I'm going to do the frame off restoration, so I got to pull the body. But I'm not going to pull the body today or anytime soon, but, you know, Tim will be around for the ride, won't you? Yeah, so I think that we should probably pull it on up in the building there and see if we can fire this bad boy up, right? Yeah. You want to try it? Yeah. I actually have a cranking handle. See if we can crank it by hand. Did you know that? Look, there's a little flapper there. See? Turn it. Bonehead. Why would you think it would open that way with a rivet? You put it through there and then right through there. And then you put it on there and you crank it. It does have a hand throttle, but it does not have a retarder.
A retarder?
Yeah, it does not have a retarder. A hand retarder. What?
Thing with the
I don't think it does. Maybe it does. Yeah, it does. It's got a hand retarder over on the other side. Sure it does. Wondering what's in the trunk?
A seat.
What?
A seat.
That's right. It's wet in there. There's also a shotgun shell in there too. But this has the reverse trunk lid rumble seat. Here, take this.
Want it out?
Yeah, that means take it. Take it out. Okay. What do we got in here? All kinds of goodies, I guess.
Oh, there's a rat's nest.
Is there a rat's nest in it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, them dirty bastards got in there and undermined my car. Alright, see if we can get it out of there in one piece. I've had it out of there a time or two. Oh, well, shut that off.